Hello and welcome back to the Bourbon Bar. I'm Holden and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a very special video that I'm super excited about, and that's my review of Bardstown Discovery Series 7. Now, for those of you who don't know, Bardstown comes out with a Discovery Series every year, which is usually a blend of a bunch of different bourbons, a bunch of different ages from a bunch of different areas, and it's usually always really, really, really good. I actually had my first Bardstown Discovery Series 6 not too long ago, and then luckily I found a bottle literally maybe a month ago, if that. So, needless to say, I was super excited. I was going to give you guys a review on that one, but then literally about 4 days ago, I found out that my local Woodman's had Bardstown Discovery Series 7 on their shelf, and not only did they have, I got both 6 and 7 from Woodman's, but they had it for under retail. 6 they had for $115, and 7 they had for $128. So, pretty wonderful deal if you ask me, and they're super, super good whiskeys. But, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pour Disco 7 right into the glass, so that way I can start developing all those delicious, delicious flavors. That way it can start opening up a little bit. So a little information for you guys. This is a 114.5 proof whiskey. That's 57.25 alcohol. And I'll throw the blend up on the screen here through a little bit of B-roll. And this is 31% Kentucky whiskey that's 12 years old. 25% Kentucky whiskey that's 12 years old of a different mash bill. 21% Ontario corn whiskey, 100% corn whiskey that is 12 years old as well. 15% is an Indiana rye, but it's barely legal rye, so it is 51% rye, 45% corn, and 4% malted barley. And then 8% of this is a 17-year-old Tennessee whiskey with a mash bill of 84% corn, 8% rye, and 8% malted barley. Now, I'm not sure which of these whiskeys are which from the States. The Tennessee whiskey could be Dickel, but it also could be some kind of Jack Daniels or something like that. So, I'm not entirely sure what's all in this bottle. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know on these tasting notes, and I gotta say I'm really excited for this. So let's go ahead and get it on the nose. Oh. Wow. Okay. That's, wow, that's nice. That's like this sweet vanilla, almost like a vanilla frosting. And there's like some kind of creaminess in there, like a creme brulee type creaminess in there. There's just a slight spiciness on the back, hidden in all that proof. All that proof that's in there. There's a little bit of spice, a little bit of clove, but not a whole lot. I'm getting just a slight bit of chocolate, maybe just like just really small amount. Honestly, one thing that this kind of reminds me of is a Boston cream donut, which, if you guys don't know, is almost the epitome of donuts, the Boston cream. Simple yet elegant. It is got some of that sweet doughy qualities, which this definitely has. On the nose here, it's definitely like fresh breakfast pastries, like super, super fresh bread, maybe like a deep fried bread, which is where I'm getting that Boston cream donut smell from. But it really could be any kind of breakfast pastry, something that's just soft and doughy, and you feel like you could just bite into it. I feel like the nose of this whiskey is like, I can feel myself biting into something just squishing and melting into my mouth, even though it's bread. And that's kind of what is happening here on the nose. Super sweet, super vanilla. There's caramel in there. There's just a little bit of oak spice, or maybe more of like a sweet oak. You can tell that there's a lot going on with this nose, but not in a funky throw a wrench in your face kind of way, but more as in like a smooth little roller coaster that kind of just takes you on a journey, lets you go through all these flavors, and it's just really, really well blended. Now, while all the other Discovery Series are bourbons, I believe, this is the first Discovery Series that is actually just blended whiskey. Now, the reason it's just blended whiskey is because there's a 100% corn whiskey in there, and there's also a 51% rye mash bill in there, which technically makes it a rye, so it can no longer be considered a bourbon. I mean, it's not a rye either, it's just whiskey, blended whiskey, but the overall mash bill has a lot more corn in it and a lot more corn influence, so the rye is basically there to kind of just bring that spice and that kick that ryes will normally bring to the table. Overall, really, really nice on the nose. But I think it's time I get this on the palate and let you guys know how it is. Wow. Okay. That's fantastic. Okay. First thing you notice, it goes in your mouth. It's viscous. It's just so rich in flavors. So much going on. Super, super delicious. That oak spiciness kind of lands right on the front of your palate. There's some clove more in there on the palate. That super sweetness that I was getting right on the nose is less apparent in the palate, but it's still there. But overall, there's some little bit of funky, like, leatheriness to it, but at the same time still has a little bit of that caramel and vanilla that I was getting on the nose, just falling down in the back end of the palate there. Okay, that time on the palate, I did get a weird note of biscuits. It's kind of like a bready, biscuity note that I'm getting on there, which is it's really good. It really goes well with that spiciness and kind of like a peppery, like a black peppery note, but still somewhat like sweet at the same time. Hard to explain, but very nice. If you guys are drinking this, you'll understand. It's very like evolutionary. It's like slowly evolving into nicer and weirder and much different things. It's not all at once. It's not like boom caramel or boom oak, but definitely nice. You can tell that this is well aged. There's some old whiskeys in here. Oak is very present. That's obvious. And the finish of this whiskey, very nice. Hugs you all the way down. Really brings up some of that spice and some of that cloves. Those rye notes are coming through a lot more on the palate than they do on the nose, which is interesting that they have it blended so well that you can get this super sweet, crazy breakfast pastry on the nose, and then when it hits your palate, it turns into this nice, spicy, like aggressive, but not like punch you in the face aggressive, but like grab you by the hand and pull you through an experience that you weren't even sure you were ready to have, but you get through the other side and you're like, I'm glad that just happened to me. And honestly, it's it's great stuff. And the finish is so nice. But this would be a good point in the video to let you guys know that I am going to do a giveaway of this Bardstown Discovery 7 and a Bardstown Discovery 6. If you guys watch for the channel on my live stream next Tuesday, the 19th of April, I believe it's the 19th, don't quote me, but 19th of April at 6 o'clock Central Time, you guys will be able to get the opportunity to win a sample of the Bardstown Discovery Series 7 and the Bardstown Discovery Series 6. So all you have to do is come on the live stream, say hey. There will be a Venmo set up that you guys will be able to Venmo. $5 will be an entry, so definitely come hang out, and you guys will have the opportunity to win a sample of this, so you'll be able to taste what I'm tasting when you're watching this video, and use some of these notes that I'm giving you guys. But overall, come hang out on Tuesday, next Tuesday on the live stream. You guys will, it'll be fun. It'll probably also be my 500 subscriber special, so that is a good way and a good reason to give away whiskey. Now, if I'm giving this a grade out of 10, honestly, for what it is, I paid $130, but retail is $140. For what it is, I would honestly give it an 8.7. An 8.7 out of 10 for Bardstown Discovery Series 7. The reason it's getting 8.7 out of 10 is because it's just really, really good whiskey. You know, it's something that you don't find often, and it's one of a kind. You know, they spend time blending it, and there's only a few bottles, and once they're gone, they're gone. You're never going to be able to get it again. That being said, what would I pay for this whiskey? Now, the MSRP of this whiskey is $140, but honestly, for my first time, seeing in the wild for the first time, I would probably pay just up a little bit, maybe 150 to 160. Somewhere in that range, I would probably pay for the first time. If I had a pour of it already at a bar, I would still pay $155. But with one bottle already on the shelf, I think I wouldn't want to pay more than retail, maybe even less for it. It's not the kind of whiskey that I'm going to be stocking up on, and maybe that's because it's so expensive. But if you haven't had it, and it's something that really intrigues you, or if you had a single pour of it and you want the bottle, definitely worth that 155 range. Definitely worth more than it is in retail. So if you guys see it, definitely pick it up. If it's at the $200 mark, I just don't know if I would justify paying $200 for this. It's good whiskey, but $200 is a lot of money, and I think $155 is a fair price. And overall, this whiskey gets an 8.7. That's the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, definitely hit that subscribe button. I'm almost to 500 subscribers, and pretty soon, by the end of the year, I hope to be hitting 1,000 subscribers, which would be great. So yeah, like the video, leave a comment in the comment section if you guys have found the Discovery Series 7 yet, or if you still are waiting like I was back when Discovery Series 6 came out. So this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next glass.